Hi, so to define liberalism based on class discussion in the video, theory in action, liberalism is essentially a theory that creates opportunities for states to either cooperate or have conflict with each other. When we start for democratic peace theory, based on class discussions in the video, democratic peace theory, a short introduction, is essentially that countries do not fight with each other. If they do go to war, it's only for the assumption of winning or for human rights. So in regards to the questions being asked, for the first one on the assumptions that are most relevant for liberalism, based on class discussion, would be the cooperation and social improvement that is being sought by individuals, and the preference of essentially a balance between security and well-being. When we look at level of analysis, based on what I talked about in the video, I would say it's system level, because it states getting to choose on an international level whether they are going to pursue with conflict and if that would benefit them, and etc. When it comes to if it's LOC or LA, simply based on class discussion, it would be LOC because it's weighing the benefits of security to the society. When it comes to the the structure and the agency, the structure would be the international system, and then the agency would be limited by either cooperating or having a conflict, and that's based on the video theory in action as well. So then when it comes to the same questions for the democratic, so what is the relevant assumption? Essentially, democratic has all the same assumptions as liberalism. It just includes the definition of democratic states, which is what we discussed in class. So, but essentially the same thing of like social and cooperation to a degree, at least with democratic states, and then the social improvement probably mostly with states that are not democratic, which would then lead to like them going to war, and then why they would go to war and whatnot, would be the most relevant. The next question on the level of analysis, I would argue that the democratic is more focused on the state level because there's a lot of discussion on the benefit and potential losses of the state, especially when it comes to either having a conflict with democratic states or going across to another country that's not democratic. It's very well discussed in a democratic state. For the LOC or LOA, I would say it's LOC because it is continuous analysis and calculation on war and its benefit or the losses, which we talked about essentially in class. For example, like we talked about with the whole, if the US and Canada were to have a conflict, the dude was saying that essentially we could weigh our options and choose just to kind of piss them off rather than have like a full-on conflict with them. When it comes to structure and agency, the structure would be the state itself, and the agency would be whether it is of benefit. So whether you're going to war, are you going to win it, and then or are you going to defend, whether that's defending your human rights or defending your country itself, which we've discussed in class.